Corruption has negatively affected our political, economic, and social life.
Chairman and members of ICPC's warning, President tasked them to take the fight against corruption to the next level.
If he's absent again, I will ask for the appropriate order.
Code of Conduct Tribunal orders Justice Onnoghen to appear next week.
The media activities continue, and we are reaching out and mobilizing key national structures. We will continue to also go out and attend to rallies and continue to express the achievements of the government.
I appeal to you to vote PDP.
The campaigns heat up as the main actors seek the ballots of the electorate. Good evening. Welcome to the network news on the network service of the NTA. I am Kenan Emma Abodike. Hingino John Adams is also reading tonight from Lagos. The Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission, ICPC, has been tasked to come up with strong preventive policy and strategies for immediate endorsement by government towards taking the fight against corruption to the next level. President Muhammadu Buhari, who issued the order while swearing in the newly appointed chairman and members of the Commission's board, assured them of necessary support as his resolve in diminishing such acts of economic sabotage in Nigeria remains unshaken. State House correspondent Adamu Sambo reports.
I will always follow the path of justice.
Those sworn in include a professor of law and immediate past executive secretary of the Presidential Advisory Committee Against Corruption, Bolaji Owasunoye, as chairman. The board members are Dr. Grace Chinda, retired Commissioner of Police, Okoro Titus Maduabuchi, Obiora Samuel Igbedibia, and Olubukola Balogun. There were also Justice Adamu Bello, a 27-year-old Hanatu Muhammad, Abdullahi Maikano Saidu, and Dauda Yahya Umar. Their appointment, President Muhammadu Buhari said, is a call to service as part of the government's sustained efforts at saving Nigeria from being killed by corruption.
Corruption has negatively affected our political, economic, and social life. Those opposed to our fight against corruption berate us for our focus, determination, and single-mindedness. They pretend that they do not know what corruption is. But Nigerians know what corruption is, and they support our effort and determination to fight it.
The president noted that despite the anti-corruption drive by his administration, some agencies of government still divert or refuse to fully account for revenues generated as if nothing has changed. This, he said, must stop forthwith.
I am looking forward to ICPC's support to prevent revenue leakage and diversion. Your skills and expertise must be demonstrated in identifying MDAs highly prone to corruption and what must be done to bring about better governance.
The new ICPC chairman, Professor Bolaji Owasunoye, on behalf of the board members, thanked the president for finding them worthy of contributing their quota in sanitizing public sector of corruption in service delivery and promised that they will not disappoint.
The political will that is required to fight corruption is available. I want to pledge on behalf of the Commission and the members, sir, that we will do our best not to disappoint you or to disappoint the country.
The fight against corruption is a cardinal program in the three-point agenda of the Buhari presidency that is crucial to national development. From the State House, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
Now, the Code of Conduct Tribunal has ordered Justice Walter Onnoghen to appear before it on Wednesday, 13th of February, when the tribunal will again resume sitting. Chairman of the tribunal, Danladi Umar, issued the order while adjourning sitting after Monday's proceeding could not hold. Justice Judiciary correspondent Femi Okewu reports.
For the third time running now, the Code of Conduct Tribunal has sat expecting to take 3 motions, 1 from the defense challenging its jurisdiction and 2 from the prosecution, which may have been said to have been overtaken by time. But on Monday, these 3 motions were yet again not taken. However, the proceedings of Monday show the direction which this tribunal may be going with this matter in the next days to come. Although there was a pending motion for the defendants to move, Justice Walter Onnoghen's lawyers, led by the Boiga Women Law SAN, brought the attention of the tribunal to the petition which he said the Attorney General of the Federation had forwarded to the National Judicial Council. He said since the content of the petition was the same as that which had brought them before the tribunal, he suggested that the tribunal should grant an adjournment to allow for the NJC carry out its statutory responsibility in the matter. Counsel to the complainant, Aliu Umar SAN, did not oppose the application for adjournment, even though he objected to the reasons given. But chairman of the tribunal was not in the mood for any adjournment. His position brought about a heated argument between him and the defense, who thought that the chairman had jumped into the arena and was not in a position to deny 2 agreeing parties an adjournment. This was later resolved after a stand down, but not without a stern warning from the tribunal that another absence by the defendant will not be tolerated on the next adjourned date.
If he's absent again, I will ask for the appropriate order. I'm not happy that he is not appearing. And by his position, he is a person who should obey the summons of the court of law.
We are in a place where law regulates and guides all human affairs. We are here because the law says we should come here.
Meanwhile, the Court of Appeal, too, has adjourned its sitting in the Onnoghen's case to the 12th of February to allow for the consolidation of the 3 appeals before it.
We needed the 3 appeals to be taken together so that we will not waste precious judicial time, because this is a matter of utmost national urgency.
In Abuja, Femi Okeowu, NTA News.
The Senate caucus of the All Progressives Congress, consisting of 56 senators, being the majority in the Senate, has today, Monday, 4th February 2019, appealed to the Supreme Court to join in the suit purportedly filed by the Senate against the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Federal Republic of Nigeria as interested parties. A statement by the Senate leader, Ahmed Lawan, says the APC senators rely on the Supreme Court Additional Original Jurisdiction Act of 2002, which provides that a resolution of the respective chambers of the National Assembly is a prerequisite of filing such a suit. The caucus is therefore challenging the said suits and objects to the inclusion of its members. Meanwhile, Senate has ordered the discontinuation of the case it filed at the Supreme Court on the suspension of Justice Walter Onnoghen. This follows the intervention of the National Judicial Council, NJC, on the issue. A statement by the Special Advisor to the Senate President on Media and Publicity, Yusuf Olaniyan, says the Senate announced that it has decided to give the NJC's intervention a chance. It notes that the decision also affirms the confidence of the Senate and the ability of the NJC to successfully and creditably resolve the issues. It should be noted that the case was initially slated for hearing tomorrow, Tuesday. President Muhammadu Buhari says anyone found to have cheated or looted the nation will be brought to justice, no matter how highly placed in the society. This was while granting audience to both West imams and Islamic scholars who paid him a solidarity visit. State House correspondent Adamu Sambo tells us more.
President Muhammadu Buhari, who reiterated the determination of his administration to rid the country of corruption, urged religious leaders to partner the government towards achieving their objectives. He also called on them to mobilize their followers to support efforts at promoting social justice across the country. The president said the nation's diverse religions and cultures emphasize justice by all and for all, saying, unless there is justice for everyone, the country cannot move forward. The leader of the delegation, Sheikh Abdurrashid Hadiyatullah, described politics as the proper administration of public affairs and rebuilding what was destroyed. He commended President Muhammadu Buhari for doing just that and assured him of their support in reforming the country. As he puts it, we have never seen a purposeful government as this one, and therefore we have great respect for you. The group, he said, will continue to support the war against corruption and other programs aimed at making life better for the people of Nigeria. From the State House, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
A Thanksgiving service for the survival of the Vice President of Nigeria, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, and others who survived a helicopter crash in Kaba, Kogi State on Saturday has been held at the Redeemed Christian Church of God headquarters in Lokoja. Jubola Christopher was there.
The Thanksgiving service at the Redeemed Christian Church of God attracted people from different walks of life who came to thank God for saving the life of the Vice President, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, and other occupants of the helicopter that crash-landed in Kaba. The Vice President, while appreciating God for a divine protection upon their lives, said he decided to save their lives in order for them to continue with the good work the President and himself have started in the country.
He is the deliverer. He is the one who can do all things. And the mighty deliverance that he brought, only he can take the glory.
He called on Nigerians not to lose faith in God, but to pray for a peaceful election in Nigeria, as well as victory for APC. Others who spoke, including the Minister of State for Labour, Stephen Ocheni, who also survived the incident, Speaker, Kogi State House of Assembly, Matthew Kolawole, and other top government officials appreciated God for averting death from the incident. The regional pastor, Redeemed Headquarters in Lokoja, Dele Olowokere, prayed for the Vice President and his entourage for God's mercy upon them and for smooth conduct of the February election in the country. In Lokoja, Ajibola Christopher, NTA News.
Over 4,000 permanent voters' cards, PVCs, were destroyed, while a total of 7,100 have been salvaged in the aftermath of an arson on the office of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, at Isialangwa South Council area in Abia State. Kelechi Okata reports on this as well as other developments.
Only the INEC personnel in charge of the office and 2 policemen on duty on the day of the incident have so far been arrested, although the police commissioner, during his inspection visit to the scene, gave the assurance that the culprits will be fished out and made to face the law.
Scaling through the fence behind and dropping off petrol jerrycans into the toilet from the window and setting it on fire. I don't know how they got to know that PVCs were kept in the toilet. I saw in the media that 15,000 PVCs were burnt. That's not correct.
Affected portion of the building was found to have been already repainted. The resident electoral commissioner knows that Isialangwa is a flashpoint, explaining that the relocation of the INEC office from its former place was met with violent resistance.
We have 319 ones that were partially burnt, and then 4,200 cards that were burnt. It's not 15,000. And the high authorities, we have compiled the list of the cards that were affected. We're sending them to our headquarters for reissue, reprint and reissue. So the public should be rest assured. All those who have those cards will get their cards before this election.
The people are assured of adequate security before, during, and after the elections. From Isialangwa South Council area, Kelechi Okata, NTA News.
As the 2019 general elections draw closer, the Nigerian Television Authority, NTA, brings on stream a comprehensive pre-election program called The Ballot. The ballot will x-ray critical issues pertaining to polls and features no-holds-barred interviews with key players involved in the process. The ballot debuts today, February 4, and airs at 5 minutes past 10 and 10:30 in the evening daily. Join us as we speak to the election umpire, INEC boss, Professor Mahmood Yakubu, on the maiden edition. Meanwhile, all NTA stations are to hook up. President Muhammadu Buhari has expressed Nigeria's formal appreciation to Sweden for its humanitarian assistance to victims of insurgency in the country. He made this known while receiving the outgoing Swedish ambassador to Nigeria on a farewell visit. State House correspondent Adamu Sambu reports.
President Muhammadu Buhari said Nigeria cannot thank Sweden enough for the country's well-known humanitarian spirit in helping the poor and assisting displaced Nigerian communities to return to their normal lives. He wished Ambassador Olvet, who is leaving Nigeria ahead of schedule due to health reasons, quick recovery. The Nigerian leader expressed the hope that given her active duty tour and knowledge of Nigeria, the envoy would, upon full recovery, return to Nigeria in one way or the other to help in deepening the highly beneficial ties. The outgoing Ambassador Olvet described her 2.5-year stay in Nigeria as very interesting and rewarding. She listed the highlights of her achievements to include assistance to IDPs in 10 camps in the northeast, paid for by Swedish taxpayers, as well as other forms of humanitarian and technical support all over Nigeria. From the State House, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
You're watching the Network News live from Abuja. The news returns shortly. Thank you for staying with us. Less than 2 weeks to the forthcoming January elections, the support base for President Muhammadu Buhari of the All Progressives Congress as his 6th re-election has continued to expand. The latest to identify and proudly associate with his aspiration are 71 retired senior military officials drawn from across the country. Receiving the group on solidarity visit, President Buhari once again made clear his objective to do the best for Nigeria. State House correspondent Adamu Sambu reports.
The delegation comprised, amongst others, 1 Vice Admiral, 2 Lieutenant Generals, 15 Major Generals, 2 Rear Admirals, and 8 Air Vice Marshals. 17 of them served as military governors or administrators before the rebirth of democracy. Former military administrator of Borno and Lagos states, General Muhammad Buwa Marwa, who led the group to the State House, said President Muhammadu Buhari has indeed represented his constituency very well. The retired top military officers, he therefore promised, will do what is necessary towards ensuring that his mandate is renewed in the greater interest of Nigeria and Nigerians.
We, the retired armed forces officers, representing over 99.9% of our colleagues, say that we are proud of you, sir. Proud to be associated with your administration and proud to witness this era of Nigeria rising again under your able leadership. We support you fully and totally in the presidential elections next week, and we'll do whatever we can within the law to contribute to your emergence as the victor in the election in order to take Nigeria to the next level.
I must say, sir, that no building succeeds or survives without a good foundation. Your Excellency has been building this foundation, not only now, but you started in 1983, sir. And I think you should be allowed to complete the foundation, because if we hand over to those who are not really interested in the well-being of the common man and of the nation, then God knows what this nation will come to. We pledge our full support and continued loyalty.
President Muhammadu Buhari described the endorsement by the ex-military officials as not only welcoming, but also an encouragement to remain firm, focused, as well as unshaken in the onerous task of achieving public good and taking Nigeria to the next level.
I'm very, very grateful. You claim me back, that I am one of you. And I assure you that my objective is very clear about participation in this country at any level. I will continue to do my best, and I pray and thank God that really this country is great. God has made us great. We have the people, we have the resources. We hope God will continue to give us the leadership to make sure that we prepare this country well for future generations.
Recalling his days as military head of state, President Buhari still insists that Nigerians have no other country but Nigeria and therefore have no alternative than to stay here and salvage the promising nation together. From the State House, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
Now, Vice President Yemi Osinbajo has assured the people of Ado-Odo in Ado-Odo-Ota local government area of Ogun State regarding the reconstruction of all federal roads in the area. The Vice President gave the assurance while speaking at the Cultural Day program of the town. Professor Osinbajo, who announced that the President Muhammadu Buhari-led administration would focus on power generation, job creation and empowerment of artisans when re-elected, advised the people of the area to continue to keep faith with the All Progressives Congress, APC. Professor Osinbajo also told the people of Ado-Odo-Ota that the APC government in Ogun State, when re-elected, would meet their expectations, including health facilities and a tertiary institution. In the meantime, the presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party, Atiku Abubakar, has assured the people of Edo State of an enabling environment for success. This was at the party's presidential campaign rally in Benin this Saturday. Steve Lonai Nwokolo reports.
The venue of the PDP rally in Benin was filled with party supporters who were on ground to receive their presidential candidate, Atiku Abubakar. Addressing the crowd, the PDP presidential candidate commended them for waiting patiently until his arrival and urged them to cast their vote for him come February the 16th. He promised to provide quality leadership that will ensure better life for them.
Whatever you want to do, we want you to succeed. I appeal to you to vote PDP. We saw prosperity. We saw GSM. Revolution, technology, everything. We brought it to this country.
The PDP stalwarts, led by their chairman, Uche Secondus, were received by the party chairman in Edo State, Dan Obi, who presented some defectors from other political parties to the PDP to them.
We have some people who are here to publicly declare for PDP.
In Benin, Steve Lonai Nwokolo, NTA News.
Members of the Women and Youths Presidential Campaign Team of the All Progressives Congress, chaired by the wife of the President, Aisha Buhari, have met in Abuja in furtherance of their strategy for the overall victory of President Muhammadu Buhari in the forthcoming January elections. State House correspondent Aliyu Kabir reports.
Since the inauguration of the Women and Youth Presidential Campaign Team by President Muhammadu Buhari early January, the team has recorded tremendous success in their campaign activities in ensuring that the Nigerian electorate gets adequate voter education to ensure that their votes count.
Because of the challenges.
The wife of the president applauded the effort of the team, especially their outreach of touching almost all the 6 geopolitical zones of the country. She expressed optimism with their resilience and commitment while undertaking this laudable assignment, adding that more needs to be done to ensure victory. The chairman, Central Working Committee of the campaign team, and the former Lagos State Military Administrator, Brigadier General Muhammad Buba Marwa, and other speakers explained that their target is to get the total votes of women and youth and other electorate in support of President Muhammadu Buhari. He further explained that as part of their mandate, they are strategizing to engage in a door-to-door campaign to raise the profile of voters for the overwhelming victory, adding that they will leave no stone unturned in achieving this.
The media activities continue, and we are reaching out and mobilizing key national structures. We will continue to also go out and attend to rallies and continue to express the achievements of the government and continue to draw the attention of members of the public of the dangers of allowing the opposition to come back.
And we believe that it will continue in this same spirit for the remaining days, trusting that by next week we should disengage and get back to our various states for the door-to-door.
The group used the opportunity to call on Nigerians to come out en masse and vote President Muhammadu Buhari in order to move to the next level. In Abuja, Aliu Kabir, NTA News.
Meanwhile, wife of the president, Aisha Buhari, has requested the people of Abaji Area Council of the FCT to come out en masse and vote President Buhari in the forthcoming February polls. Mrs. Buhari stated this in a message when the Women and Youth Presidential Campaign team visited the area in continuation of their nationwide campaign for the victory of President Muhammadu Buhari and all the candidates of the All Progressives Congress. State House correspondent Adamu Sambo completes the report.
The Women and Youth APC presidential campaign team has arrived Abaji Area Council, and the first port of call was the palace of the owner of Abaji, Adamu Baba Inusa. Presenting the message of the wife of the president to the owner and the good people of Abaji, especially women and youth, the senior special assistant to the president, Dr. Hajasani, expressed appreciation for the support and cooperation the president has been receiving from the people in steering the affairs of this country. She told them in confidence that more developmental programs that have direct impact to the masses are underway under the Buhari-led administration if re-elected for the second term, citing examples of the good policies and programs of the government aimed at fighting corruption and boosting the economy, as well as infrastructural development such as good roads, rail, and the security of the nation. The senior special assistant to the president solicited their support to come out en masse on February 16 and vote President Muhammadu Buhari and all other candidates of the All Progressives Congress. This, she said, will ensure continuity of the laudable projects and programs embarked upon by the APC government for the development of the nation.
For FCT, we are starting with Abaji, and we are going down to all the emirate councils within the FCT. For Abaji, we are sure and we are happy to see that the women and the entire people of Abaji, they are there to give their support for President Muhammadu Buhari, for FCT, for APC, and for the success of the second term of President Muhammadu Buhari.
Other speakers comprising the wife of the Chief of Staff, Hawa Abakari, and the wife of the former Lagos State Military Administrator, Munirat Buba Marwa, followed suit in sending similar messages.
This is what she has been telling us to be telling people, that we women need to come out massively with our children to vote for Muhammadu Buhari, because the hope of his future relies on women and youth.
The owner of Abaji, on behalf of his people, assured the wife of the president of their support to ensure President Muhammadu Buhari is re-elected come February polls. In Abuja, Aliu Kabir, NTA News.
Of course, that was Aliu Kabir reporting and not Adamu Sambo. Now, the Court of Appeal sitting in Port Harcourt has granted the application for a state of execution filed by Rivers State APC against the judgment of a federal high court which delisted 8 candidates from contesting the 2019 general elections. The ruling, delivered by Justice Mohammed Mustafa, was an appeal between APC versus Senator Magnus Abe, INEC, and others. Kingsley Amajiri reports.
Justice Mustafa, who delivered the lead ruling, granted the injunction sought by the APC restraining INEC from giving effect to Justice James Omotosho's Federal High Court judgment of January 7, 2019. The said judgment, among other reliefs granted, had directed INEC not to recognize any candidate of APC in Rivers State, while also ordering the Commission to delist APC candidates from the ballot paper. The latest ruling noted that it was granting the stay of execution given that 4 appeals that emanated from Justice Omotosho's judgment are before them, indicating that the parties to the matter are dissatisfied with the decision. This, the court further indicated, necessitated the special circumstances within which the court granted the stay of execution to ensure that the final outcome is not rendered nugatory.
All the parties in that place except INEC are appellants also in this matter, which means that all the parties are dissatisfied with that judgment. And the court felt that that is an exceptional circumstance for which to stay the execution of that one. And by this ruling today, the APC in Rivers State and their candidates are free to participate in the election.
The jubilation they have now is of no moment because the act sought to be stayed has been completed. And again, the court did not give any order to INEC to put back the names of the people that have been removed.
The Court of Appeal is also expected to rule on other applications on this same matter by other parties before the determination of the substantive appeal. In Port Harcourt, Kingsley Amajiri, NTA News.
Nasarawa State says it is bringing into limelight the milestones of the Buhari administration as the All Progressives Congress presidential campaign rally holds this Wednesday in Lafia. Joshua Ojito reports that stakeholders has described the scorecard as very impressive while looking forward to renewing their mandate for the president at the general election.
And the drive by the state and federal governments have been anchored on promoting these ideals and tackling development challenges to bring to reality the aspirations of the people. In key economic and social sectors are glaring evidences which Governor Al-Makura says his administration and the federal government achieved over the years in changing the fortunes for common good.
This is one of the projects for Nasarawa State and Nigeria for both posterity and prosperity.
The people commended the Buhari administration for fulfilling promise as catalyst for economic revolution to create wealth and promote industrialization.
He has done a lot for us. 95% of Igbos will vote Buhari.
But if development is said to follow the road, the Buhari administration is transforming the state, so is the Al-Makura administration with several hundreds of kilometers of roads, an airport under construction to facilitate connection with the state and parts of the country, as well as promotion of economic activities. For Nasarawa State, it has been the celebration of peaceful coexistence, making development to permeate as the people say are united for a common destiny of ensuring success for the re-election of President Buhari and other APC candidates.
APC, through the leadership of President Muhammad Buhari, has done everything that it's supposed to do for this country.
With expectations high for the presidential campaign, the people say it's like homecoming to President Buhari, whose punch out for peaceful coexistence and overall development of the nation they cherish. In Lafia, Joshua Ojito, NTA News.
Time now to join Hingino John Adams for more news from Lagos. Hello, Hingino.
Thank you, Kene, and welcome to Lagos. The United Bank for Africa says its artificial intelligence-powered chatbot, Liu, has hit 1 million subscribers since it was launched last year. At a social media week in Lagos, the financial service provider also hinted that it now takes a record time of 5 minutes to open any of its accounts, adding that more technological innovations will be explored to increase customers' banking experience. Michael Olade reports.
Hi, I am Leo, a super geek who's obsessed with artificial intelligence. I'm sure you're wondering how I got here.
Leo is the first artificial intelligence chatbot in Africa, built to mimic the neurons in human brain. It is powered with natural language processing machine to fast-track instant response to virtually all banking inquiries.
Your registered mobile number is also required.
This social media week offered the platform for the UBA to intimate customers with the endless possibilities inherent on the platform and to get feedback on means of increasing values. The group head online banking, Mr. Austin Abuluso, said the platform, which has successfully handled over 70 million conversations within a year, has proven to be useful for people between age 18 and 34.
You have a complaint, you just went to an ATM, you did a withdrawal unfortunately for one reason or the other, you didn't get the cash, your account was debited. You don't need to call the bank, you don't need to go to the banking hall, you go to Leo.
Apart from being the only artificial intelligence banking chatbot available in 15 countries across Africa, the innovation has won awards.
Within just the space of 1 year, Leo has got over 6 awards. The biggest of it was the Euro Money Award, in which UBA was given the Digital Bank of the Year for Africa.
Participants commended UBA for the innovation and called for more flexibility.
I was quite surprised that something like that is in Nigeria, is in Africa. So I was quite impressed because my personal bank is UBA.
For innovation-wise, it's a 10.
The United Bank for Africa says it is projecting beyond Leo in its bid to enhance customers' banking experience. In Lagos, Michael Olale, NT News.
The Federal High Court sitting in Lagos has convicted the former managing director of the defunct Integrated Microfinance Bank Limited, Mr. Simon Akinte, over $160.9 million fraud. Vera Chinwobo reports that the judgment was delivered by Justice Mojisola Olatoregun.
Justice Mojisola Olatoregun convicted the former managing director of the defunct Integrated Microfinance Bank after he was found guilty on 9-count charge bordering on reckless granting of loans without collateral leveled against him by the Department of Public Prosecution, Ministry of Justice. The court, however, discharged and acquitted his deputy, Mr. Gabriel Adepoju, who was charged on 1 count of unlawful diversion of 22.2 million naira to a printing company named Guard Press Limited. Akinteye and Adepoju were arraigned before Justice Mojisola Olatoregun on a 10-count charge. Akinteye was also alleged to have approved credit facility and remitted $166 million to one Temitope Igman in an account domiciled at Citibank in New York, United States, without approval, and also at different times withdrew the sum of 11 million naira and diverted same into his personal account named Dablat Nigeria Limited. He will be sentenced on the 21st of this month.
Simon Ademola Akinteye was the director of Microfinance Bank. The prosecution was able to prove all the elements and beyond all reasonable doubt, and the first defendant was convicted. During the course of the prosecution cross-examination on the second defendant, we were able to extract some of the information that actually proved that the first defendant did committed several abuses in the office while the managing director of Integrated Microfinance Bank.
In Lagos, Vera Chumuba, NTA News.
You're still watching NTA Network News. More reports ahead after this timeout. Please stay with us.
Nigeria joins the globe to mark World Cancer Day with focus on how to address lack of access to cancer diagnostics, treatment and palliative care. Chimdema Ndubisi reports.
World, with 18.1 million new cases and 9.6 million deaths recorded last year alone. The outlook for Africa is that if tobacco and alcohol use are not reduced and people continue eating unhealthy food with little physical activities, cancer cases will go up from more than 1 million to more than 2 million in 2040. Nigeria recorded about 116,000 new cases in 2018, while about 41,000 people died from cancers that are treatable due to lack of information on early signs of the disease, late diagnosis, misdiagnosis, and high cost of treatment. As the world marks Cancer Day, the World Health Organization says, in this time and age, cancer diagnosis should not be a death sentence or lead to huge out-of-pocket spending if the needful is done early enough. That's why the organization is calling for African countries to intensify efforts at universal health coverage and strengthen health systems.
The stakeholders should address the current inadequate access to cancer diagnostics and treatment, the lack of knowledge on cancer and the low health literacy levels, cultural inappropriate cancer prevention materials.
For prevention of breast cancer, self-breast examination is very important, fecal occult blood tests, and also colonoscopy. In people that have cancer of the colon, family history, they should please urge to do that from time to time so that they will reduce the risk of exposing themselves to cancer.
In Individuals are also encouraged to eat proper diet, engage in physical activities, and receive appropriate clinical interventions to prevent cancer. In Abuja, Chimdema Ndubisi, NTA News.
We'll now go on another break on the news. Stay with us. Governor Muhammad Umar Jibrila has concluded the APC campaign rally for Adamawa Central in Hong local government with a call on the electorate to massively vote for President Muhammad Buhari and all APC candidates in the forthcoming general elections for better days ahead. Rayano Bala reports.
The people of Hong turned out en masse in solidarity and support to all APC candidates as the campaign train hits the area to round off its rally for the Adamawa Central. Governor Muhammad Umar Jibrila called on them to vote for President Muhammad Buhari on February 16 election for more security, economic growth and provision of critical infrastructures. He promised to construct the Hong-Gaya Road for improved socio-economic activities in the area. While in Yola North, the governor pledged to construct 2 flyovers at the police roundabout and Bekaji roundabout, befitting the status of the state capital if re-elected. Secretary to the government of the Federation, Boss Mustafa, also told the gathering that they will not regret re-electing President Muhammadu Buhari because of more result-oriented projects and policies to be implemented.
President Muhammadu Buhari har zuwa kasa mu yi sak a APC.
The APC campaign rally was at Yola South, Gire, Song, Gombe and Fufare local government areas to canvass votes for all the.
That concludes Network News tonight. Thanks indeed for watching and good night.